What's up everybody and welcome to my world. Today we're going to make this Pinterest inspired steampunk style lamp. Stick around. To start things off, everything you need for this project can be purchased at your local home center. And I'm just starting right here with a 4x4 deep box, and that is a 1 1/4 inch conduit fitting box connector. And I'm just marking out the size of it because I do not have the right size hole saw or knockout, and really a knockout wouldn't work on this because you've already got the factory made knockouts in the box. So I'm marking this out and I'm going to cut it out with a smaller hole saw, and then as you'll see here in a second, I'll use my Dremel to clean up all the edges and get it open up to the size that I need to be able to fit this in the box. So clamping it down onto my workbench. Just using my drill here with a 7/8 inch hole saw to get as much out as I can. And now we're all the way through. Safety first, got my safety glasses on, and here we go with the Dremel, and I'm just going to basically put some slots all the way around the edge and then come back in with a file and remove all the rest of that. I don't show all this because it gets kind of boring, but that's essentially all I do. I work my way around the edges, putting slots in, and then I go back around with the Dremel tool there and kind of notch that, and then take the file and knock it all out and clean it up with the file. Pretty simple process. It would be a whole lot easier if you just had the right size hole saw, and if you do, I recommend doing it that way, and don't do this way at all, because this is the long way and it's much more difficult to do this way. And so here is the 1 1/4 inch box connector. It is fitting down in there. It's a pretty good snug fit, and that's what I wanted. And now I've taken a 3/4 inch conduit box connector and I've cut everything off of it except for just enough to screw into that hole. I just want a clean edge to run the power cord out of the back of the box. So I'm filing down where I cut here, getting everything cleaned up, and you'll see a better view of it. So that's all that is, just a 3/4 inch connector. I cut everything off of it and filed it down smooth on the back, and then you can see some JB weld there. Didn't have anything else to hold that in there, and I wanted that to be secure. I don't want it to twist or move at all. So here's all the parts that you're going to need on the interior. We basically got some standard, again, electrical parts that you can pick up at your home center. I had to move inside because it was getting very cold outside. It's about 8 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now. So got a standard receptacle, standard 2-way switch, not a 3-way switch. That right there is called an exposed work box cover, and that's a standoff that I wound up not needing, but I had picked it up just in case. And so got your standard tools, flathead screwdriver. You can use that to put the box connectors on and connect all the wires, wire cutters, Phillips screwdriver, and the cord there is actually something that I took off of an old sander that I had out in the garage. So here I'm just knocking the tabs off of the receptacle, and I'm doing this to make more room in the box and because the cover won't fit over the box with those on there. So I did that to the light switch and the outlet. So I've sped this up here. I've wired in the outlet. I did show that. If you don't know how to wire this, I'm not doing this as a how-to video on how to do electrical wiring. Fitting all this together and putting in the switch, and then I put in the receptacle. And this is the first of about 7 times that I put this thing together and then take it apart. Now we've got the receptacle going in. There's these little nuts that go on the back of there, and they screw that thing together so that it stays in place. And now I'm getting ready to put the cover on. You'll see, if you're looking real close, there's a piece of wood inside there. You can tell that I've already got the lamp socket in the top. I didn't show that because I didn't like the way that I did it. You can do it any way you want to do it, but basically I just put a piece of wood on the bottom of that conduit connector with a hole in it, put the lamp socket down inside there, ran the wires through, and I epoxied everything in place. Now I have used a couple different colors of paint to paint the outside of this, kind of distress the look a little bit. I used like a gold and a black, and then as soon as I painted it, I hit it with a heat gun real quick, and then I came right behind it with some lacquer thinner and just gently wiped most of the lacquer thinner back off the box, just to kind of give it that dirty look. And so there's the cable coming back out of the back side of the box. I put some hot glue in there to protect that. I don't want that cable moving around. We don't need any electrical shorts, and this is about the 7th or 8th time now that I'm putting all this back together again. And this is the final put together. Put the lid on one last time, and essentially without the bulb, basically you're done. All you got to do now is put a bulb in it. Thanks for watching.